What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Wednesday morning. Depending on the time that you're viewing this, it's game week 29 on SORARE NBA. So it's time for us to dive into some of the best value plays we got cooking for this slate. Just want to say at the top, too, we are about to announce a fun little Team Hold SORARE membership. So if you're enjoying the content that you're getting so far, but you want to turn it up a little bit, we're going to be putting 2 or 3 shows a week. We're talking deep dives on MVPs, maybe some interviews and some other stuff like that. We're going to put it behind a paywall, a tiny little one, just so we can continue to build out what we're doing over here on Team Hold So Rare. You'll also get the value hunting plays before everybody else. Big brain alpha. So anyway, stay tuned to that. That is going to be announced this week because YouTube has informed me we have 1 more hour of watch time before we're in monetization zone, baby. And you just love to see it. All right, let's dive into game week 29 right off the bat. Before we do that, actually, I'm going to show you what I am sweating right now because for the first time in what feels like a long time, we actually have a sweat this game week. We've got this limited champion lineup sitting here in 25th place, but honestly, we're probably at its height, right? So the Celtics still have 1 more game against the Lakers where Derek White has put up 45. Şengün, I don't see him outscoring that 64. Same thing with Dante DiVincenzo, who dropped a 70. And then you get Josh Hart right here with 48, although they do have a game against the Pacers, and Tom Tibbs loves to play his boys 75 minutes a game. And then SGA dropped a 61. However, he's got a Q tag heading into his Thunder game tonight. So that's a pretty fun sweat, though. We were in a 25th of 7,400. You love to see that. And the other good one we got going on is our rare contender, which we are in 11th, but we actually have some room to run here. So we've got the Grizzlies playing the Cavs, right? And I have Scottie Pippen Jr., who, if you were there for Live Before Lock, let's go. All right. The haters wanted to doubt Scottie Pippen Jr. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Scottie Pippen Jr. dropped a 34. Aldama with a 39. I feel like Scottie Pippen's probably done so. I don't know if he's outscoring that 34. However, Aldama with 39, I feel like he'd get up there a little bit more. Again, we get that Josh Hart Dante combo. But here it is. This is the key. Ant-Man only dropped 40 in that first game against the Thunder. He plays the defenseless Dallas Mavericks tonight. However, the Mavs have already ruled out everybody on their team. So I'm a little nervous this gets out of hand, which is too bad because if we look at the leaderboard, we get a shot here. So I'm at 240 points. We're probably not getting first here. 277 might be out of reach, but we do have a shot of jumping up into a tier 1 if we can get Ant-Man to get into that 20 point or a 60 point range, excuse me. That'll vault us right up into the top 3. Let's get a podium, huh? A podium one time. All right, that's it. Enough about me rounding, doing victory laps. We don't need that. So we're moving into game week 29, and a lot of this is going to feel similar to some of the other stuff we've talked about, but I want to caution it just a little bit. So we did see, there we go, Anthony Edwards right there. We did see the Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart combo really pop off this game week. And the Knicks are still going to be those guys, right? They're still going to be the ones that are going to project really well. Dante DiVincenzo's cap is still at 27, and he projects now. Like we saw those crazy projections of 45 this past game week, and then clearly we saw him hit 70. For this game week, they only have 1 game. He still projects, Dante projects for 41 points, which we like. Josh Hart's cap is actually down. It's at 19. He projects for 31. And then Quentin Grimes, who we haven't seen pop as much, even though we thought he would. He's got a cap of 17, and he only projects for just 20. So just a couple of things to note on the Knicks. OG Anunoby missed his most recent game. Randall is still out. If OG is out, then I do still think that the Hart call and the Dante call are huge, right? I think Josh Hart with a cap of 19 is pretty safe, right? But you can see his price is pretty elevated right here as you see his year 2 going for 14 and limited is year 2 rare for 59. Dante, on the other hand, his prices, I'm sure, a little bit higher. Oh, well, yeah, his year 1 rare is at 35. His year 2 limited is 875. Those guys are like clearly going to be the best. It's the best combo of things where they have injury news going on, right? And it's Tom Thibodeau who's coaching that team. And my guy Tibbs loves to play his starters 1,000,000 minutes a game. So we enjoy that quite a bit. Keep it up, Tibbs. Keep it up for my lineups. But yeah, those the Knicks are going to project the best. You can still mess around with Quentin Grimes if you want, but it is clear Tibbs doesn't love what Quentin Grimes is bringing to the table. Okay, that is as clear as can be. Let's continue to move around here. This game week is kind of interesting. We're seeing some of the top tier guys that I'll rifle through some of them just for projections. I'm not going to look up their prices because they're all expensive, but we're seeing some of these high performing players project really well, and their caps have come down a little bit. I mean, Wemby's cap is 48, but he's projecting for over 60 points. You're seeing Nikola Jokic's cap is down to 55. He's got 2 games this game week. It's also not a back-to-back. He projects for over 67. SGA continues to project well. You see Trae Young, all of those guys. But let's go over to Golden State here for a second. And I wonder if people are a little bit surprised by this, but Kuminga, whose cap is all the way up now to 32, and you can see his limited year 2 card is at $9.44. His rare year 2 is at $54. Kuminga's cap has climbed all the way up to 32, and here's the thing, he projects for over 44 fantasy points. Kuminga has been playing really, really well lately. We also saw, I don't know if you guys watched the Sixers game last night. Klay Thompson was ruled out pretty last minute with an illness, and it was kind of the Kuminga and Wiggins show for a little bit. But there's been a lot of trade rumors about Wiggins, and so it does feel like any day now he's going to be out the door. Now, again, they could bring in somebody else that takes in a similar position that Wiggins plays, but my guess is that they try to. I don't know. I don't even know what they could go. I don't know what the Warriors could do that would make them much better, anyways. But anyways, Kuminga, look at this most recent game. All right, so let's go back to game week 23. He dropped a 39, a 43, a 29, a 49, a 43, a 34, a 44. That's honestly pretty consistent stuff there. And I think Kuminga, his role is only going to continue to increase because he's clearly like the Warriors' second, third best player right now. He has definitely leapfrogged Klay. I mean, I guess you can make the argument that Draymond's still a better play than him, but I really like what Kuminga's been doing. I mean, I've been saying this for a while. Steve Kerr just has to play Kuminga. I'm going to stay in the Warriors. I'm just going to mention him. This is definitely risky because we don't know if my guy is even playing. Sorry, guys. I got to silence my phone. I apologize. We're getting a lot of notifications right now. We got a new phone. Didn't silence it. We're going to pull up Moses Moody here. And again, we got to wait to get confirmation that he's actually back. Here you go. You can see this player is currently out for an extended period of time. He's just constantly projecting well. And then we find out that, oh, no, I'm sorry. He's not projecting. He had been projecting the last couple of weeks, and then he gets ruled out again. So maybe we got an injury notification. But you know what? We're keeping it in there because you got to trust the process. Trust this process. A lot of people are going to see Corey Joseph project well here. He's got a cap of 7. He projects for 18. I'll pull him up, but here's the thing, guys. I'm a big fan of playing people that are good at basketball. I don't think Corey Joseph is that good at basketball. So go at your own risk, okay? You can see here we go, $1.79, $10 for his rare year 2. Honestly, that's not terrible if you want to take a shot on somebody. I don't think he's very good, all right? I don't think he's very good. I don't think it's a good play, but a cap of 7 projects for almost 19 fantasy points. What did he do? Has he done anything recently that's making it feel exciting? Because I'm out on this type of play. Yeah, there you go, 14.94. Don't do it. Don't do it. There you go. That you turn into value hunting so you don't get fooled by the value. Excuse me. Anthony Edwards, James Harden, all these guys continue to project well. Let's go back to Anthony Simons, though. Again, he's kind of had some real up and down games, but I'm a big fan of what his ceiling is. And you can see his limited year 2 card is at 20. His rare year 1 is at 42. And let's see what this looks like for his most recent game week performances. So you see that 58 against the Spurs and then followed that up with a 31 and a 27. But I tell you what, he's got the Bucks tonight. And the Bucks are terrible at defense, especially against guards. So maybe we see Anthony Simons season. Maybe he pops up. We could stay in that same team. Malcolm Brogdon, who's come back. And when Brogdon is back and healthy, that's the biggest question with Brogdon will he stay healthy? Malcolm Brogdon does most of the offensive lifting for this team, right? It's not Scoot. Jeremy Grant is a bucket getter, but you're going to see Brogdon's actually been pretty consistent here. I know we saw these 22 and 29, but we got a 53, a 49, then a 35 and a 47. I feel like you can kind of count on 35 to 40 from Brogdon. I'll be curious to see how this matchup goes against the Bucks. The one thing to keep note about him, though, is that it's nuts that he's still on the Blazers, and with the trade deadline rapidly approaching, right? We're just a couple weeks away from that. I think it's like 9 days. Brogdon will be on a different team shortly. Jonathan Isaac continues to project well. Listen, I can't trust the Jonathan Isaac stuff, okay? Well, let me actually see what his price looks like. But he's another one who he's only allowed to play 2 games before sitting out 2 months. That's just kind of what happens, right? Jonathan Isaac, you can see $4. I'm not even going to talk about him any more than that. He's going to project well, but listen, he doesn't play. In the same vein, like I bit this last time, but Markelle Fultz, his cap is of 19, right? And Fultz actually projects to get up almost to 30 fantasy points or so, rare fantasy points. So I'm so tempted by Markelle Fultz because he should fit nicely with that Orlando Magic team. They're desperate for like solid playmaking guard play, but I guess this is like pretty low risk as you see this is like a $4 slap there, but you saw the ceiling, right? You saw the ceiling against the Phoenix Suns drop to 37. So I don't know. Maybe it is time to mess around with Markelle Fultz. The last thing we got to shout out, we don't. This happened late last night. Joel Embiid went down with an injury, and now it might be B-ball Paul Reed time. I don't know the severity of this injury, right? I know the discourse is going to be for the next 2 months. Is the 65 game requirement actually killing the NBA? Well, listen, Justin, before anybody has that argument, the NBA PA voted on it. Okay, so blame the players too. But anyways, I hope Embiid is not seriously hurt. I hope he's back soon. But this is something to keep in mind here because if he is out, I mean, his price isn't super elevated yet. You see like $10.37. I mean, his cap is at 24. And the thing with Paul Reed, even without Embiid, like you can see that ceiling game. We saw him drop 30 and 13. Here it is, that 56-point game against the Nuggets. But you know what? He was also in a juicy matchup against the Blazers the next night and only put up 29. So I'd actually be a little bit more interested in what Maxey and Tobias Harris can do. Why? What's going on? What is going on with this website? Okay, but I'd be more interested in what Maxey and Tobias Harris can do. I know Harris's cap is going to be a little inflated at 35, right? But again, with no Embiid, he just gets shots up. And I know Maxey's missed the last couple of games too, but you saw that 46 last night against the Warriors, a couple of 50 points, high 40s over here. So just keep that in mind. This is going to be a tough game week for value. I don't think like looking at projections early on, the thing that I've noticed so far, and we talked about it at the top, is that most of the highest value guys are MVP type plays like Trae Young, SGA, Victor Wembanyama. So I think like if you have Knicks guys, you're running out your Knicks again. The price is kind of elevated enough that yes, there's still going to be good plays, but I don't know if we should be going out there and buying Knicks at this point. I think we kind of missed the wave. And honestly, those Knicks plays kind of take a step down if OG Anunoby comes back anyways. Although Tom Tibbs, he's going to play his guys. I will say if OG is good to go for this weekend, you can absolutely run him out there. So that's this game week here. I'm going. What I will do before I get out of here, let's do like a quick. We'll start ending the show like this. We'll do a quick lineup build. Oh, that's right. We get that Eastern Conference, baby. Don't forget the new Eastern Conferences. Let's go. We got the $250 NBA gift card up top. Let me actually see what I can build here for a rare Eastern Conference. Scotty Barnes is my best play here, right? Because it's like MVP style. Yeah. So I honestly won't be focusing on this because I don't have a good MVP for rare Eastern Conference. But we'll start with let's start with my rare champion. We got Anthony Davis, who I know missed the last game, which was kind of a bummer. But we'll roll that one in there first. I'm excited that I now have a rare champ again after all those years of not having one. So I think I'm gonna roll out here AD. This is what we could do. I'll be curious what the chat thinks about this afterwards. So let me know in the comments. I think we can roll out here AD and then go with both of our Knicks bros. We've got Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, who's down to 19, right? And then I think we can just jump up and slam in. I think we could go like Scotty Barnes. Ooh, we could almost go Scotty Barnes and Anthony Davis. We could go Scotty Barnes and Jalen Duren. Or yeah, probably Jalen Duren. That's probably the way to go here, right? Or Emmanuel Quickly if IQ is back and ready to go. That's pretty solid. So that's one thing we could do, right? So let's just say it's this way: AD, Dante, Josh Hart, Scotty Barnes, Emmanuel Quickly. Or we go over to Rare Contender and we see what it looks like here because we might be able to build a more competitive lineup over here. Because we could, I know Emmanuel Quickly seems like he's going to project really well. Let me actually pull this up over in my projections. We get Emmanuel Quickly projecting for over like 45, it looks like. Hold on, let me check this out real quick. Emmanuel Quickly projects for just over 40 or so fantasy points, which is pretty good. So we could do the Emmanuel Quickly thing over here And then we go back down to our Knicks again. Where's Dante DiVincenzo? Santi Aldama's probably going to be out there. Josh Hart. And then you can go Markelle Fultz, who I said projects well. So I got to tell you, as I was building those, none of those feel good. Let's do the limited Eastern Conference. See if we can do that. If we get a better, Mikal Bridges is my best one. We don't have a good MVP. We need to go MVP shopping, and that's why you should sign up for our Team Hold So Rare subscription to get behind that paywall when we eventually announce it. Because maybe that's what we do. We go MVP hunting on a budget because I'm on a budget. All right, that's going to do it. That's going to do it. Game week 29 right around the corner. Appreciate everyone tuning in. As always, don't forget, we do Live Before Lock every Monday and Friday at 5:30. We give away a rare tier card. And do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and drop a comment in below. Who's your favorite value play for game week 29? Thanks for watching.